Snack rack while we record. No, nobody's business but mine.
Hello.
Hello, internet. Here we are. And as you heard, I have a snack wrap. It's cold and it's delicious. Welcome to Shades of Sanity.
Hello, and we are here because this is just how Shades of Sanity goes. You get us however we show up. Okay, all right.
That's where we at. And in
Yeah,
case my snack wrap wasn't enough of a reminder for you, this is not therapy.
not at all.
Said here should be taken as therapy. I'm honestly not even sure why they gave me a license. I'm just kidding, but really no.
Because you're really, really good at what you do when you do it. But thank God this ain't
Right
that.
now, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing shit right now, actually.
Yes, happy MLK Day. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we're at. Happy
Yes,
MLK
it is.
Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be like a minute after we posted about it that they're going to see this on here. But because it just happened today and yesterday, after like we have to talk about it. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but toot those YouTube thumbnails, though.
I'm just saying, like, they are so professional. I'm telling you, like, Emily, you do things with all of the, things on the internet, like on all the tools that I could never. So I just love that you do that, but they look so good.
I
I love them.
appreciate that. I just feel like I was clickety clacking on there and I went, huh, I like that. And then I was like, I put it up and I went, they won't even know I eat while podcasting when they look at that thumbnail. They're gonna think they getting something else. That's how
That is true. I do not think that our
they're ready.
thumbnails, I don't think they reflect the mayhem that is in Shades of
Okay.
Sanity. I don't think that.
They're just like a sprinkling of a surprise.
Yeah, I think so. I like it personally. Like they're gonna get in here and go, "Oh,
It's good for them. We just like shake things up. It's fine. It's
yeah, a
fine.
little bit." Exactly.
So tell me, how was your MLK day? I'm sure you didn't work.
I did not work. I'm very glad to not have worked. No, it was good. I've been working. Emily has inspired me. She's got a 20-minute of like focused working schedule that, she's helping me work on, and I really love it. And it felt really freeing to just be able to just be in my zone and working today. So I'm updating websites and things like that. Yeah, updating labels. So it feels good.
I'm
And
happy
how
you're
about for
liking it.
you?
Well, today I did work because I forgot to take off.
That's all right.
And also I have a lot of people who like have jobs that are off, so they would like to have sessions.
Yeah,
So, but it was fine. It was a lighter day.
good.
What else happened today? I had workout class, I had acupuncture, and then I flew home and I have so many leftovers in my fridge from you guys coming over. So I had some little snackies. And then I went to work and then I laid on my couch for a while and I came here. You know,
Nice. I love
living
it.
the dream,
Yes, for
obviously.
sure. Yes.
Oh, and I made a bunch of content today. We're very proud of ourselves for recording and scheduling the things. So
I'm telling you, Emily is a freaking beast. If you want to get on your whatever it is, like she can make it happen and she can give you the
yeah,
set.
yes, we can.
Yeah, she can to make it happen. And I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and you get on her line and get with her. She will make your life 10 times better. I promise you.
I very much appreciate that.
It's the truth.
Okay. I have a surprise for you. Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready, but
I'm so nervous.
this is a fabulous day. Like
Okay.
this is a monumental day.
Okay.
We have a speak pipe.
Hey,
Like somebody left us a voicemail.
I was just thinking about that today, though. I'm telling you, I knew it was in the atmosphere. I knew today we were going to get something. I just knew it. I knew it. Ooh, I'm so excited.
The squeal that came out of me when I saw that, I went, not Lil. I was like, I'm sorry, a voicemail for moi? Okay,
Yes.
fine. And
I cannot wait to hear about it.
listen to it because I wanted to have this opportunity together. But it's a minute and 16 seconds, so they had some things to say.
I'm here for I'm salivating.
I'm so excited. So I figured we'll play it and then we'll just talk about
Yeah,
what it
let's do
is
it.
you're talking about. Okay. Let's see.
Hi, ladies. How are you? I'm currently in the car, so sorry about the noise. So, my question topic is when you grew up in a lot of chaos and your life has just been just a lot since you were young, and even your relationships up to a point have also been very chaotic and toxic. When you finally get in a relationship that isn't that, and you create a bond with someone that is very healthy, even the communication is healthy, how do you not also feel this sensation of like bore in the relationship, but really it's just calmness, but your body's like I feel like my body's always in a lot of like fight or flight feelings that when I'm around him, I can feel the sense of like boringness from him, but really he's just like calm. So, what do I like tell myself, or like, what should I learn from this and like change my perspective on, like mentally, when it comes to this, to not think that he's boring, but really it's just like calmness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, love y'all. Bye.
Ooh, that is so good. Hello there to you. I love that.
That's a really good question.
That is. And, I really can appreciate, number one, the insight that they have, right? To
Mhm.
be able to just say, hey, I recognize, like, to be able to recognize that this is actually healthy, because some people wouldn't see it as healthy, that this person is just calm. They're not, chaotic. They're just calm. I love that she was like boring. But I totally totally get it. And a lot of people don't recognize. I say all of that. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo. Let me get my brain going because I've been not
Okay.
in that mode. But that
But I
they
very much agree. Like, I think most people would be like, this isn't the relationship for me. And they would go back to something chaotic. They would keep leaning into the chaos. And this person's not. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what they're stopping to do, what do I tell myself? I love that question. Um because I think so number 1, it takes a lot to be able to connect in your body. Right? And so I'm just coming into this place of understanding somatics, which is really
Yeah.
trusting my body, getting in touch with my body. I think so many of us are
Mhm.
detached from our body that we don't know what we're feeling. So number 1, the brain it's really like Chat GPT, right? It is a computer, and if you ask your brain a question, it is going to try and find you the answer. So when you
Sure.
go, "Well, what's wrong with him?" Your brain says, "Well, he's boring," right? So that's number 1, and when you wanna change the narrative that your brain is telling you, you have to you have to feed it the information. So just like the prompt of Chat GPT. So what I would say is what you have to remind yourself is this is actually healthy. He's not chaotic, right? It's healthy. You know what I mean? So start there.
So
Yeah.
I very much agree. And I think there is this reality too, right? Where the acknowledgement, like we said, is really important. And also it sounds like they're kind of in this place now that looks like, hey, that's great that I see it and I get it, but I need something else. Like, I don't want to think that he's boring. I want things to work, right? And
Yeah.
I can appreciate that they're in this space where they just want to move. It sounds like they're trying to move past like trauma patterns.
Mhm.
It sounds like they're in this place where they're like, well, I don't want to keep going into fight or flight. And when
Mhm.
they say that to me, that tells me that their body is probably in some kind of a panic.
Yes.
So what does that look like, right? Like, if we look at just staying in the somatics piece, that tells me maybe we need some countdown breaths. Maybe we need some like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding. Maybe we
Yeah.
need some box breathing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, for anyone who doesn't know what box breathing is, that's like breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. Like you might need a like breakout, like a breakout of your mind activity, right? So like a quick walk. You might need to literally like shake your arms and your legs out to help move the stress out. Like we could get into like EFT tapping. Like there's so many things that are going to help like work directly with that fight or flight energy.
Yes.
I'm also curious too, like for me, when I think about stuff like this, and I'm curious how you feel, Rel, like in my brain, I almost see it like the ocean tide. I feel like when I have realizations like this in my own life, it's like the tide coming in, and I'm noticing it, and the tide's coming in because I'm ready to face it now. I'm ready to look at it. And
Exactly.
2 weeks ago, last month, 3 years ago, 17 minutes ago, I wasn't ready, but now
Right.
I am. And it's not something I need to panic over or shame myself over. It's just like, oh, I'm ready to kind of face this thing now. Let me look at this. And this could be your body telling you that you're safe enough in this relationship now that you guys just need more things to do. Maybe you're feeling bored partially because you are a little bored, not with the relationship, not with the person, but just with your time. If
Right.
think about all the energy you used to give to the chaos, the
Exactly.
worrying, the yelling, and the fighting, and the screaming, and the being mad, and you have a lot more time on your hands.
Yep.
Maybe you need to plug in more time together, more intentional time. Maybe you need to look at and really just check yourself, right? When that feeling comes up, it's like, okay, what's going on with me? Like, do I feel safe? Do I feel respected? Do I feel like I can be myself? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All those things are good. Am I actually bored right now with the circumstance? Like, are we just sitting around doing nothing, scrolling on our phones? Or am I looking for more from the other person? Do I need them to talk back more? Or do I need them to start more conversations or hear me and come up with some cool ideas for something for us to do on a Saturday? You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering if there's like room for you to, since you're already doing the exploring of yourself, maybe there's room to kind of keep digging in that a little bit more in a different way. Like, okay, this is feeling like boredom. Why does it feel like boredom?
Absolutely, that's what I was thinking, you know what I mean? Because you're recognizing, okay, from childhood, there's been nothing but chaos. And, it's like the sweater that it's your favorite sweater, but it's got holes in it and it itches, you know what I mean? And now you're coming into something new and you're like, it just doesn't feel the same. And it's not, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And also I think it's also that because while you're in this relationship with him, I think you need to get clear about what it is that you're looking for from him because I think sometimes with all that chaos going on, you ran to something that was the opposite because it felt so much safer. So like you
Yeah.
said, is it about him? Because like my brother, all he likes to do is be in the house. He's not like he tries now going to dinner, but for real, he's a homebody. And so whoever gets with him, if you thought that maybe you were gonna spice it up and change him up, baby, no. So
Yeah.
I think you have to have conversation with him. What now? Now that, like you said, it feels safe and you're cool, calm, and collected, maybe in the relationship. What does fun look like for him? What is his level of excitement? You know what I mean? Is he
Yeah.
consistently at a 5? Or, when's he at a 7? What does his turn up look like? If that's what you're looking
Oh,
for
yeah, for
too.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Because
Yep.
I think we've had conversations about this previously, right? Where like I at least, right, and I feel like you're in the same place. I don't feel like your romantic partner should check every single box for you every day, all day long, all the time. Like you need different kinds of relationships and different kinds of people, right?
I agree with you
There are
1000%.
things that I don't go to my partner for, not because I can't, but because I go to my friends for that, or I go to my mom for that.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean it's a secret from him, he doesn't know, but he can't be my only thing. You know what I
I
mean? He's
think
not the sun, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense, and that's you know what I mean? So, like, learn about, like, what is his 7, and if you know that he is kinda like Rose brother and he's more of a homebody or more like whatever, like, maybe that's where you guys shine. And it doesn't mean he can't step out the box a little bit and like try new things. And we're going, yeah, let's figure it out. Let's try it. But that doesn't guarantee he's going to like it either.
That part. And so and also, you gotta really get clear about what it is that you want in relationship and what are your non-negotiables? You know what I mean? I think that's important too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um, because I never want somebody to like toss away a really good relationship because it doesn't feel like how they think it should feel. I think there's one thing in theory and another thing in practice when you're actually in it. And I think that unfortunately, the internet, I think, tells a very different story than the one we're telling. They're like, "You're supposed to be your end all be all and everything."
No.
It's not supposed to be that way. And I think that's too much pressure to put on any partners, too much pressure
Oh,
to put
for
on
sure.
children. Like, they're
Oh,
not there to make you feel better.
no, no, no. I very much agree. And I
Yeah.
also think too, right? Like, wow, because it sounds like you've come to this realization of like the fight or flight, right? And there's this reality too that, like, and I hate to phrase it like this, but it's the only way to phrase it. If you are in a new phase of your life, but years of your life has been something more chaotic, I need you to be gentle with yourself and
Yes.
also expect the withdrawal symptoms. Like
Yes.
your nervous system used to run on cortisol and adrenaline.
Yep.
So when you're in calm spaces, when you're in calm relationships, people tend to feel restless, they feel bored, they feel anxious, they feel weirdly empty,
Yep.
and it almost can feel like a detox. Like, and it sometimes it can be just as helpful to really start normalizing phrases like, "This is my nervous system coming down from years of
Yes.
intensity."
Yes. I talk about the time in my life, that I recently had and being, taking FMLA from work and then ultimately being terminated from my job. I
Yeah,
look at it sometimes as a bad thing, but ultimately, overall, it is the best thing that could have happened to my life that I had months that I was able to just sit and be. I was able to really take a great deal of, introspection and reflection. And
mhm,
really, I did a full scan. Hey, how do I feel in my body when I thought about certain people? What
yeah,
came up for me? That I did an energetic scan of my relationships, and it told me where, oh, there's something here. And I went investigating. I got very curious and I wanted to drill down about, why do I feel this way? Why do I think this way? Where did this come from? I went to the origin. I took it all the way back. Not many people get that time in their lives, but I'm telling you, it was
everything.
beautiful. It has really changed my life for the better. I am so much more grounded. And also, there's nobody that can tell me anything about me, you know what I mean? Because I've done that work and I've spent real time with myself. And like you said, many people are so uncomfortable when they are trying to regulate their nervous system
Mhm.
because it turns everything on its head, everything.
Yeah. What you just described reminds me of something I do actually do in session a lot with people, and it's a conversation around, like, chaos cues. So, when people who grow up in chaos, like, they often mistake certain things for chemistry. So, like,
Mm,
high behavior, inconsistency, anxious attachment loops,
yep.
needed to, like, prove your worthiness, like,
Yep.
earning love, you know what I mean? So, like you said before, Ral, like, it sounds like we went from A to B, and, like, we
Mhm.
know B is good for us, and we know B is where we should be, and, like, we are happy, but you now need to learn what your, like, regular, everyday, like, healed cues are.
Yes,
What
exactly.
is chemistry for you now? What makes you feel all ooey gooey delicious in love
Yes.
now when it's not chaotic?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that really is essentially what you're doing. You are trying to regulate your nervous system. And like you said, the chaos cues, which I love that term, by the way,
Yeah.
we talk about the body keeps the score. Your
Mhm.
body remembers all of it. It remembers the good, it remembers the bad. And so when your body and your nervous system is so used to chaos, it doesn't know what happens when there's no chaos. And sometimes we go and we create that chaos, maybe with our friendships, maybe on the job, because we don't know. This feels unsafe, even though it's the
Yeah.
safest thing. But
Because it's uncharted territory.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's super duper important. And I think that's the part that you have to remind yourself and go, no, no, I'm just trying to regulate my nervous system. You are coming into a much healthier space. And so, like you said, you're in uncharted territory. And so you just have to be gentle and calm and go, hey, we've never been here before. So there's no way, that you know how to act. You know how to navigate landmines from your childhood and
Yeah.
your adulthood. And now that you don't have to navigate those landmines anymore in this relationship, you're like, wait, what? And then something must be wrong with him or something must be wrong with me. And actually, nothing's wrong, right?
No.
So you're just coming into a safer space than you've ever been. And so you just remind yourself, hey, we're new to this. This is new for us. And again, exploring, what does that look like? What would you like from him? But also remember, this is who he is, and he may not be able to meet whatever it is that you're looking for. And also, allow him to be that. You know what I mean? Don't go pushing him because now you're in a different space either.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point, right? Because it reminds me of this idea of like not confusing calm with no fun, right? Like a
Right.
calm partner doesn't have to mean and shouldn't mean a dull relationship.
Right.
It almost feels like, I phrase this, like really just like stability shouldn't mean stagnant.
Right.
Like it just means that your relationship isn't fueled by chaos.
Exactly.
But maybe you just need to add more intentionality into things.
For sure.
Do we have shared hobbies? Do we have like travel days? Do we have laughter? Do we have new experiences? Do we have play? Like, do we have deep conversation? Like, whatever it is, right? And you don't, it doesn't have to be all of them. Like, I'm not listing off a checkbox and you have to check every one, but everybody has certain things in their relationship that works for them. And those are the ones they play in. Like, I know for me, laughter is a huge part of
Yes.
our life. You know what I
Yes.
mean? More so than like travel, because travel isn't big for me. Where if Rel could be traveling every day,
Every day.
that's a really big part of her relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was just gonna say that, like, and I also couldn't imagine somebody who matched my energy. Like, I am wild for the night, you know what I mean? I'd probably reside at an 8 all the time. I couldn't imagine a partner who also was at an 8 all the time. Like, we'd be in here killing each other. Like, yo, would you shut up? Like, it would be terrible.
Yeah, it would.
So, yeah,
Oh,
and also we need to, remember that, our partner is to complement as well, you know?
mm. You know what I'm curious about? And they didn't say anything about this, but I'm just curious because now we just dig in.
Mhm.
I wonder if they have like an underlying urge to self-sabotage. Like, I
Mm.
wonder if when the calm feels uncomfortable, are we trying to create familiar chaos? Like, are we picking fights? Are we like testing our partner? Are we pulling away? Are we like doing any of these things? You know what I mean? And I'm curious, right? Because I do find that that can happen with people,
For sure.
even sometimes. I know that I can do that, right? Like anybody can, right? Like if I have a really bad week and I'm just like in a foul mood, sometimes I got to check myself, just like picking a fight to pick a fight. And he's looking at me like, why are you being so mean to me? And I just got my claws out, right? And sometimes like the hardest thing to do is really to be able to ask yourself, like, in this scenario, like, am I reacting to my partner or am I reacting to my past? And for
Yeah.
me, it's always like, am I reacting to my partner or am I reacting to like my hard day?
Oh, I
Which like that's
definitely
weird to look in, but sometimes we got to do it.
Oh, for sure. I definitely know. I'll never forget one day I was having a rough week and we went to Walmart and they needed to like I was buying like we had went because some drink that Walmart sells like an adult beverage or something. They were like
Yeah.
you could put them in the freezer and they were ready-made drinks and they were like $1 a piece. And I was like, yes. So I go to get them and I have my ID and then they asked my friend for her ID. And I'm like, whoa, why do you need her ID? I'm here purchasing
Fine.
it. Like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, God has just given me a sacrificial lamb because I'm gonna go up one side of this cashier and down the other. And not because it was her, because I was ready. I needed
You were
something
just
to
ready to
take.
fight.
Yeah, I was ready to fight. And, thank goodness they called the manager over and I was even ready, like, yeah, bring out, yeah, higher up. Come on. Like fangs. I was like drooling. I had
You were
blood.
like, "Line them up, I'll take them all down."
That's exactly it. And then they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am." And I was like, "Oh, all right, thank you." But in that moment, I knew like
Yeah.
I just wanted to fight. You know what I mean? And
Sometimes
so
as
yeah.
human beings, we can be super irrational.
For sure, for sure. And when I am PMSing, oh, 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 it's so
Mhm.
bad. There have been days I have literally wanted to rip Everett's head off. And then I was like, you know what, bitch, take a nap. And then after I woke up, I was like, woo, I feel so much better. I was going to maim him.
I
So,
know. There are
yeah.
there's definitely times where, like, I'll, like, say something mean, I'll say something mean, I go, "Imma take a lap because 'cause I'm gonna be mean to you today." And he's like,
Right.
"Right?" Like,
Yeah. So I
mhm.
think good question, and if you are like, how does that show up? And you know what? Good intel would be to ask him, to ask
Yeah,
your partner and go, "Hey, you know, do you find that, I pick fights out of nowhere or seemingly out of nowhere?" Like, get some feedback. And I think, that's okay. And I don't know that a lot of people do that in relationships because sometimes we feel like this is just how I am and they got to take it or leave it. And
yeah.
that's not always fair. So you should ask, hey,
Agreed. And I'm also gonna asterisk what you just said by saying, because this, like, should be a thing that everyone knows, but sometimes I don't know it, so I'm going to just say it for you and me. Ask that question when you're ready to hear the answer
oh,
and
yeah, for
where
sure.
you're ready to hear. Don't ask that question in the middle of date night at a restaurant. Don't ask that question when you're feeling super emotional. Don't ask that question really late at night. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that to yourself, babe. Mm-mm.
Yeah, or them, right? Or them. And I gotta be honest, like sometimes as women, oh, I done did something with my lighting. Hello, lights. Um,
Look at
there we go.
you.
Yeah, I know. Like, what's going on over here?
I
You
love all
too.
the colors. That's fun.
Thank you. Um, but what was I gonna say? Yeah, and be ready for the like you said, like be ready for the answer. You know what I mean? Like, but I was saying, oh yeah, sometimes I think men get a bad rap. I think sometimes they don't know what to answer, how to answer, because I think we also move the goalposts. And I'll say, I think on both ends, men and women, we do it to one another. So
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna generalize, but I
But
know for me,
I very much agree with that. I think that's true. And I also think too, like, sometimes we ask questions and we already know the answer. And I think we're hoping they're gonna be like, "No, babe, that's not true." And then when they don't say that, we're mad.
yeah, listen, I'll be so
You know what
honest.
I mean? Like,
Just recently, Everett and I were having conversation, and his friend was like, yeah, he said something like, I can't play that game with Rel. And so his friend was like, yeah, you can't. And here I go, I clutch my imaginary pearls. Excuse me? Now what was that? Why do your friends think I'm aggressive? Like I've never been aggressive with them. And he was like, are you kidding me? Babe, I was so hot. I drove
oh,
home
yeah.
from Brooklyn mad. I worked myself all the way up, called him the next day, like ready to fight. Like, and so I had a problem. And he was
Mhm.
like, which one is it? Because you say that you are aggressive and now you are clutching. Now you're mad because I said you're aggressive. And I was like, yeah, because I've never been aggressive with your friends. So how dare they see me in that light?
Yeah, I'm the same girl. Like, I am strong will. I'm gonna tell you where to go and how to get there. And he'll be like, "Why are you so mad? Why are you yelling?" "Oh, now because I'm a woman, I'm a bitch because I got an opinion." And he's like, "Whoa." And I'm like, "Actually, I'm just a sensitive little flower who will tell you to go fuck yourself." Like,
Legitimately, I am. That's what he said. He was like, you are so sensitive. I am. and is not going to
Mhm.
change. Hello. Um, so I do think, right? It's so important to be able to hear feedback, to receive feedback. Um, and also I'll say this when doing so, it's okay to go, you know what? I need a minute to process that. You know what I mean? You don't have to necessarily like carry on the conversation because it's okay to go, ooh, that didn't feel good. I wasn't expecting that. And then go in and process and be
Yeah.
able to come back with, okay, I can hear that. You know what I mean? Take time, really take time with feedback because,
Oh, yeah.
it's not always good. It's not always good, even though it
Sure.
could be true.
And I think we just need to normalize in general, like, not having to always answer and have a response immediately. That doesn't mean we just say nothing, but we can hear something and go, "I really appreciate you telling me. I'm gonna spend some time and think about that, and I'm gonna circle back with you."
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. I'm big on that now, because I do a lot of thinking about, I really like to inspect it. I like to poke around. I might even ask some other people because I'm trying to really gauge what's going on. And so, like you said, it's not a easy, okay, I heard this and now I'm gonna instantly fix it. It's so uncomfortable to sit in this chair of accountability. It's prickly. It does not feel good.
Never, never. Um, Also, just because we all know this is not therapy, however, I love recommending therapy specifically for things like this, right? When you have, like, attachment or family trauma patterns, right? Like,
Yep,
just in your history. Therapists who focus on, like, attachment work, inner child work,
yep,
EMDR, somatic experience,
yep.
trauma-informed therapy, like, all those really great, like, I'm gonna call them buzzwords, but, like, therapeutic buzzwords, like, people who specialize in that could be really helpful because what I'm, at the end of the day, hearing is that, like, you don't like that your nervous system goes into fight or flight when you're in safe environments. So, like,
Exactly that.
maybe it's time to work on it.
For sure. And I also want to put in just a little footnote that also happens for parents and their children. And those are conversations that you two can have with your children. And that feedback that you get from them may not be the greatest. As children, we go, oh, mom, remember that time that you and my freaking kids love to do that to me. And it wasn't necessarily that big in my life. So I'm like, what? Who? Huh? And the kids are like, oh no, remember the time, mom? And they sit around because I got four of them. They like to sit around and like compare notes.
That's crazy.
Oh, they
These
do that to me
kids,
at the family gatherings. You hear me? Like,
these
and
kids.
exactly trying to take me out. But and also the key to that is to not get defensive because that also we have to remember is their experience and that might not have been my experience. It might not have been the way that I saw it. But I try really hard not to go, that didn't happen. I'm just going, oh yeah, like I just go with, yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all
Yeah,
right, you
he
say it
did.
happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
wild, yeah.
Right. Mom was going through some things, you know what I mean? And I asked for grace and I try to be better. I try to take that feedback from them, you know what I mean? And I try to not do those things. So I just wanted to add that it goes in other, directions as well. And so even if you're the one that's in your adult life having those conversations with your parents,
Yeah.
and your parents don't immediately take that in, just give them a minute because that generation don't know nothing about having to take accountability,
No,
and really sit because they also weren't allowed to say anything, you know what I mean? So remember that, so just to add on to that.
oh, yeah, absolutely. But also, thank you so much for calling us, and we would love having this conversation
I
about.
know.
Oh my gosh, I want everyone to call and tell us about their lives.
No, for real. Like, please call in so that I don't have to like watch the reality TV shows and then talk about those people in their lives.
Mm, we should call this is a hotline officially, like, they need to call into the hotline.
For sure. They need
This
to
is
call
the
into the Shades of
this is
Sanity
the Shades
hotline.
of Sanity SOS hotline.
Yes. Oh, I love that. The SOS hotline. Yes. We gonna help you out
They
with
just
no judgment.
Just give a little ring ring. Every time someone's gonna tell us from Harvard, we're like, girl, we've been there, we did it worse. Let me tell you about this story. Like
Legitimately. So, and that's the other part. I think, the great thing about humans and, as actually I was, so before I wake up, my consciousness is up before I'm like actually awake. And then I'm finally like, oh,
yeah.
get up. But I was really thinking about that today about, on MLK Day and the different generations. Cause I told you I was watching all of the documentaries.
All of them. I don't think there's any left.
Legitimately. I love my Amazon Prime. But I'm really kind of like, yo, how are we here in this moment? And how are we so divided? And I think that, guys, we are so much more alike than we are different. And I think that we have to really lean into that. So, calling into the SOS hotline, and what you're going to get from Em and I is that we understand because we are human. And so there's no judgment. We get it. And like you said, we probably been through it. And we're not afraid to, share the things that we've been through because we know that, again, we're more alike than we are different.
I very much agree. You gotta call us. It's the only option left for y'all.
Seriously. Legit. Get on this line. Get on our line, please, and thank you.
Also, when you call, clearly you're gonna get an entire episode of us chatting about it. So like, I mean,
don't you want to be an SOS, Hall of Fame? Like, come on.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Don't have any other thoughts? Do you have any other thoughts?
Not so much. Other than also on MLK Day, I love that I tell my friends that Emily played no games about people who clearly were showing that they were not like you and who you were just deleting them off of your page.
Right. Yeah.
And I was really trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. There were a couple people on my page that I'm just like, all right, they're allowed to have their opinion in this, that, and the third. But here's what I'll say. I think our allies have failed us. I think that they're not speaking up when it matters. And I think this whole, oh, we don't see color. If you don't see color, then you can't see me. And
I was gonna say, I hate that phrase.
Yeah, like
that's another way of saying that you're just brushing it under the rug.
Right.
I'm over that. And I think, right, like I have space, right? I have capacity for like you view things differently than me.
Yep.
I don't have capacity for just hatred of marginalized communities, for just blindly following people and not really being educated on the facts, for just pure hatred that you put out there, for praying for other people's downfall. I don't have capacity for that. So like you're lucky all I did was delete you off of Facebook.
Legitimately. Yeah, so that's kind of, that's now the stance that I'm taking, and I'm going to get to deleting on my page too. Like, nope, you're out and you're out and you're out and you're out, because like you said, I just have no tolerance for not wanting to see humanity in people. And that really is what, I'm asking for. But real talk, like I'm all done having this conversation about equal rights, because you know what, this is the thing that I've been thinking about. I think that it's okay if we just collectively took a pause from where we are and let's look back at some of the conversations and some of the arguments that took place. What was the best course of action for us to move forward? So let's see what we chose. Let's look at what the options were. Let's look at what we chose, and let's see, where did that get us? And is it time to pivot into some other, paths forward? And I don't think that we're doing that now. I think we're all divided.
Yelling,
and I think we should,
and just digging our in. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So I'm like, can we take just a collective pause and I'm open to having real dialect, like you said.
That's the thing, right? I don't need you to think exactly like me. I don't need you to share a brain. I do need you to be curious, intentionally kind, open to hearing other people's viewpoints and opinions. Like that's what I'm looking for. Right. Those are the people I want to spend time with.
Absolutely. And if you're here with like, that's fake and this isn't real, oh, like, then no, thank you and goodbye. And I do think that it's time that we actually, this is what I was saying, a thought that I had. I think it's time that we put those people in timeout. Like, yeah, it's time. You know, when you were in kindergarten and first grade, the big thing was sharing. You had to share. I was an only child, and my parents really worked hard with me about sharing because when I got to kindergarten as an only
You're like,
child,
"That's mine, and it's always been mine."
exactly, like, "Hello, you don't see this is me right here?" And so they really were like, "Sherelle, you have got to share." And I think that if we looked at America and said, or just really globally and said, "Hey, we have to share." And when you don't share, you get sent on timeout. Not forever, but until you can think about why you cannot be over here a part of this healthy collective, go have a timeout over there because we don't want that energy over here. So until you learn that, and that's what equity is about, it's about sharing. And none
Sure.
of this, it was mine, because the truth of the matter is, it actually wasn't. And I was really thinking about that too for all of the, because like I say all of this to say that like I'm constantly like looking at articles and things like that that I find interesting, and whenever I go to the comments in the articles, there is so much racism in there, and I went, how we get here, y'all? Like, what?
Mhm.
I just Tiana Taylor about her Golden Globe speech, and
Yeah.
so what she had said was, you know, to the little brown girls that look like me, hey, look, it's for you too. Why does she got to make it about race? She has to make it about race because little brown girls are not allowed to dream in that color. And so what she's saying is, hey, if you look like me, you too get to dream in a color that everybody else got to dream in. But this
And my
race,
thing is, like, why is that not why can't anybody make a statement like that? Why does no one have that comment when I stand up and say, "Hey, you know, chunky girls living
right,
in,
right.
New York State, you too can own a clothing boutique. It doesn't matter that you wear a bigger size than the other people in your" like, what I was allowed to say that and it wasn't a problem. Why doesn't she get to say it?
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. Like we have to share. We have to share collectively for ideas. But also the thing is, you know, when you get that like, oh, why don't they just go back to where they came from? Here's the deal about that. I just kind of wanted to put that out there. I am American. I was forced here and I am born and raised. But for all the people that tell me the stories about when their grandparents came over here and they had nothing and so on and so forth, to you, I say, well, why don't you go back to where your
You
family
came
came from?
from, yeah.
Because I was brought here. So I don't have a choice. There's nowhere else for me to go. But
Mhm.
for you, you have a choice. And so if you don't like having to
100%.
share, then maybe you need to go wherever it is that you and your family came from. So that's my my spiel on MLK Day, is that people, it's time that we all share and there's room and space for everybody.
I very much agree, and I appreciate you chatting about that with everyone today because it's
Thank you.
important, and I don't think we can hear it enough.
Thank you. Yeah, and so and if you and if you got a problem with it, you can also get on the SOS so that we can help you understand why it's important that you share.
Yes, call the hotline.
That's it.
Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube because we're there too.
Ew.
Subscribe, like, comment, give us the things. We want to be popular. I mean,
Exactly, like, hello, you know what
don't
I
you want
mean?
us to be popular? Come on, share us with your friends.
Seriously,
They will like us. They will.
that's right.
All right. I'm going to link the what we're going to call the hotline now, which is our SpeakPipe link in the description of this video and this podcast, everywhere that it is. So you will be able to click, and you'll click the link. Our page will load. You hit record, and you record us a voicemail. Hit stop. You don't have to give us any information if you don't want to. You don't have to leave a name, an email, anything, or you can give us anything you want. It's really up to you. But it's really, really simple and it's so much fun. So we want you to do it.
Please and thank you.
Yes. Yes,
Alrighty
yes.
then. We'll
All
see you
right,
next
y'all.
time.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.